Hello everyone and welcome back to the Life of Klee community. Today I'm going to be continuing on with my series on the best dog food. Today I'm going to be continuing on with my series on what you should know before you get your Klee. I misspoke there, but this one is actually about the best dog food that we have found for Sky and Copper and just their diet in general. So one thing I would be aware of before you get your Klee is that there's a fairly decent chance, I would say, that they could be a picky eater. This is definitely something that we've experienced with Sky, to a lesser extent with Copper, but definitely with Sky. And we have had so many DMs over the years from Klee owners asking, what food do you feed? Because my Klee is picky. So I would say that they do tend to be fairly picky dogs just based upon the social proof that we've had through our social channels. Now, we started off by feeding kibble, which was what the breeder was feeding them, and they did eat when they were puppies, but we found that Sky eventually got bored of kibble and stopped eating it. And then when we moved to the UK, we did come across a fresh dog food company that we signed up to, and Sky and Copper really enjoyed eating their meals. And we were in the UK for the best part, I think, of 3 to 4 years, and we fed this brand the majority of the time. Probably 90% of the time they were eating this fresh dog food, and that was button-up box. Sky and Copper really enjoyed it, and it kind of did take away her pickiness. There would be occasional days where she wouldn't eat, but for the most part, she would always finish her button-up box meals. Now, as you'll probably know, we're back in California, and when we moved back here, we tried to find a similar brand that would keep Sky and Copper happy. And the closest we got to it was with the farmer's dog, but we found that Sky was getting fussier with the farmer's dog after feeding it to her for a few months. So we actually decided to do something that we've never done before, which is switch to a raw dog food company. And it prompted the biggest reaction I've ever seen from Sky. She was and remains obsessed with We Feed Raw. That's the raw dog food company we feed. She was doing pirouettes around me when it came to mealtime. She was finishing her bowl. She was even making sure Copper didn't get near her bowl. Copper loved it. He's more food motivated. But we've never seen Sky eat so well, eat so consistently, and enjoy a dog food as much as she has with We Feed Raw. We also use Sunday Food for Dogs as kind of like a topper on top of the raw dog food, and we use Sunday for Dogs as a kind of treat slash kind of like sporadic feeding throughout the day, if like we're on a walk or whatever and we're trying to do some training. But the We Feed Raw really has been revolutionary for us, and I know there's been a couple of Klee who have asked me in the past probably 12 months since we started We Feed Raw what we are feeding, and they themselves have switched onto We Feed Raw and also had a similar experience where their dog went from really, really fussy to really, really food motivated. So I would recommend, if you are a Klee owner and you have a Klee that's not a puppy, that's an adult dog, and you're finding that they're fussy or picky with their food, really consider giving raw dog food a try in general. And We Feed Raw, like I said, was a huge success with Sky and Copper. So that would be my personal pick. We have done some dog allergy tests over the past few years, and there has been things that have come back, but we're not sure how accurate they are. But that's something that you may want to consider when you're trying to find what works best for your Alaskan Klee and their diet. We do give treats, like I said, throughout the day. Usually it's Sunday Food for Dogs. They have an air-dried dog food, so it's kind of perfect. I can grab a handful, put it in my pocket, and then if we're going for a walk or we're outside, I have dog treats if I need them. And we do use it as a tabletop, as a topper on their raw dog food. But apart from that, they don't really get that many other treats. We do have a couple of supplements that we give them. But for the most part, we've become really good at not feeding them table scraps or anything off the table, because it's just led to too many issues with Sky's tummy in the past. So we're pretty consistent about that. She does get carrots. They both like carrots to chew on. We used to give them lots of bully sticks when they were much younger, but we don't do that anymore because their teeth are much more delicate now. And also it led to kind of bad breath, and it seemed to lead to a bit of tartar buildup. But yeah, I hope that is useful for anyone who's thinking about getting a Klee or has just got a Klee, who has a Klee for a couple of years now, and you're wondering what are the dog food that we're feeding. I do think it's something that you should definitely consider before you get your Klee. And like I said, the raw dog food has been a big success. Yasmin's mom was actually away for a couple of months, and she was so surprised by how much Sky has filled out in the past few months, because she was much skinnier before and you could kind of almost see her ribs. But since we've switched to We Feed Raw, She's steadily been gaining and putting on a healthy weight. So we're really happy with the impact that that's had on her. And like I said, her fussy days are over. But thank you for watching. I'm going to be back next week as I continue on with my series of what you should know before you get your Alaskan Klee. If there's any questions that you have, please leave them in the comment section below and I will definitely get back to you.